Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel. I am making a video today. We got some nice, lovely sunlight out there. Good natural light for a video today, and I'm basically doing a purchasing video. This is a machine, unlike some of those I've been recently discussing in videos. This is not a client machine. It is actually This is actually a machine I recently purchased, and it is a white 565. Now, those of you who may know the name White, the White Sewing Machine Company was, in the early years of sewing machines, going back over 100 years ago, the largest competitor to Singer. Singer was huge and by far the largest, but White was pretty darn impressive. And this is why when it comes to machine brands other than Singer, you will see White appear sometimes more often than any of the others because, again, they were a large brand. They had lots of models. This model was made circa 1962, 61, 62, maybe 63. And it is a machine that you guys have seen me do videos on before. It's not this one. I've restored these before, and this one is, of course, two-tone. It's sort of like a light sky blue and a turquoise. And let's see, it has stitch length control. It has needle position, which was a big deal back in the early 60s and late 50s and 60s. And then, of course, over here we have the width control. So this machine would have had zigzag, and that you could have also ordered a straight stitch version of this machine and saved yourself some money. But if you were getting a new one, many people opted for the model with zigzag. Now keep in mind, just like Singer, White had a lot of different versions of a model. So you'll see a sewing machine that looks like this. It has the same control features, but sometimes it'll either be missing a feature that one of them has, or it'll have an additional feature. And that is because they would take the chassis like this and make quite a few different models, different model series. And of course they did this so they could meet every price point. Many people, when they went shopping for sewing machines, probably hadn't shopped for one before, or it had been a long time. And many of them would get sticker shock when they saw the price. And so to keep the customer from walking out the door, they would simply offer multiple options, multiple price points. This is still true today with everything from sewing machines to cars to anything else. But it was true back then as well. Now this machine has this model, the 565, it came with a little hatch door right here, right up top, and this is where you would insert a cam. And this particular machine came with its original manual, and it came with something I don't always get, which is the box of original cams, decorative stitch cams, and you can see the cams printed here. I'll talk a little bit more about these in a different video, though, because there's a reason why they're kind of hard to find. And you would think, well, if the machines are common, why are the cams hard to find? And yeah, they were they were an upsell extra, but that's not the only reason. One thing that distinguishes the 565 is this right here. Now, many of you who are familiar with White machines, and this is going way back, even to many of the earlier models, and way back in the 20th century, possibly even in the 19th century, the White Company, very often its bobbin winders would flip upward instead of coming down. They would flip up like this, and they're based on a pretty heavy spring. Now, different models at different time periods, right around the same time this machine was built, they would have the hand wheel, of course, and then centered in the hand wheel would be one of those knobs, like the chrome you often see, the clutch knobs, which you would loosen to then disengage the drive shaft so you could wind a bobbin. But the White Company at some point decided to change that. And so when you flip this up, you don't have to disengage the clutch knob because there is one. This is a cap that's covering the hub of the wheel. But when this goes up, watch this, guys. I'll see if you can see this. I'll turn this back around. You'll get a better view. Now, notice the bobbin winder is not engaged currently. Okay, so when I turn the hand wheel, you'll see the needle and it's moving. This machine, both in straight and zigzag, I'm not getting any kind of resistance. It doesn't seem to be stuck or frozen. That's nice. That doesn't mean it doesn't need overhauling. I can tell it needs a full going through, but I'm hoping it won't take as much time. Now, but the point I wanted to make to you is, remember, for most of sewing machine history, you had to disengage manually with the knob the drive shaft. Well, on this model, as soon as you flip this up, there's a piece in the back of this arm that engages some mechanism here, because now when I turn this, notice that the needle it typically is not moving. Now it's hopping just a little bit. Remember, these are not digitally controlled, and I have not cleaned and lubricated this yet. So, but for the most part, it's working fine. And now watch when I take this back off. So if you have one of these or a machine that looks like this, and you think, well, hey, how am I supposed to use my bobbin winder? What's going on? Well, this was a improvement, quote unquote. And I'm sure this all had to do with saving the sewer time. And White could say, yes, but that was sew yesterday. Look what we've got now. You don't have to play with the knob anymore. Now that may make the mechanism in here more elaborate, but again, I'll be cleaning and lubricating that, and I expect it to work fine. These springs are very strong and very, very hardy. So that's my hope there. And this machine has, like many of the White models, a 1.3 amp motor. And so yeah, there it is. Oh, probably the most unusual thing of all that I found. You know, I've rescued a lot of sewing machines over the years, and sometimes the machine will come with a table. Sometimes it will come with a carrying case, and sometimes it will come with neither. It just comes, as the head of a machine. And sometimes if they're not tabletop ready and they need something to rest on in order for the mechanism to work, there's a few models like that. I have to find a case or a table for it because you can't really use it, even if I restore it, you can't use it if if it doesn't have something to rest in. Well, in this case, I went to look at the machine and I thought, well, what is this? It looked like a tray. And I'm going to come around here to the side, let you guys see what I think I'm seeing. Now I'm just guessing at this, guys. This looks like it was either built out of part of a sewing machine table, because you can see this sort of wood laminate. It fits the period, because in the early 60s you started to see a lot of this wood laminate come out, which was a big deal for people at the time. But if you look over here, we can see the ghost spots for where hinges were, and this is what makes me think that maybe this whole tray, guys, was literally sort of, cut out, if you will. And I looked at it and I was a little mystified by it, and I got it home and I thought, well, actually, this is kind of an interesting idea, because you get more flat surface for sewing an object than you would in a case, because typically the case, the edge of the case runs right up to the edge of the bed of the machine, and you don't get the full wings of a table. So it's kind of an interesting. I've never seen this before, but hey, it works, and there's plenty of room down below, and of course it has its rheostat style. Oh no, actually this may be a carbon pile, and the cord. So anyway, I will be going through this machine, and if I think of a video that makes sense, I'll try to make one. Any videos that would, like I say, I've done videos of this before, so other than the debut video when I finally finish the work, if I see anything that I think is unique as far as making a video, we'll do that. But just to show you guys, this is my latest 565. I've had 563s, I believe, and so I've had machines in this color, but again, they don't always have the automated bobbin winder drivetrain disengaging device that I just spilled that out. I don't know what White actually called it. Hopefully something simpler than what I just described. But again, we have a light in the machine, and like I say, there were many versions of this machine. You may have one where it has a knob on the side, or you may have this machine in a different color. There was a beige, two-tone beige color scheme. There was, I think, maybe a gray and a silver or something. But anyway, this was keeping up with the fashion of the time. This machine was made in Japan. Remember, by the 60s, the White Company, they had originally been making machines in Cleveland, Ohio for over almost a century, maybe. And when they didn't get their contract renewed by Sears, they tried. They went to Germany trying to find a manufacturer that would private label for them for some zigzag models, and they did. Those had limited success, and then they went to Japan and found a manufacturer to make machines for them. Again, the White Company wasn't making these. I'm sure they were designing them, but designed in America, made somewhere else. But it's a great machine. It's got a number of great features. Remember, the year it came out, it was considered a pretty decent, pretty nice machine. Lots of options here. And we can lower feed dogs, and here's our little reverse for back tacking. Anyway, I'll talk a little bit more about this. I actually have another one. They just come in waves for whatever reason. But I appreciate you guys watching. Again, this is just sort of a purchasing video to show what I've recently got. And I'll try to remember in another video to talk about what is so amazing. I've kind of told you guys what's amazing about these machines, but there's something in particular about them I like that leads me to want to buy them again and again, and then rescue them, go through them, give them a full overhaul, and find them new homes. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care now.